Do you remember your childhood memories when you would go on vacation and go swimming in a beautiful big lake? A lake that wasn't too cold. Like Tahoe was kind of on the cold side, but do you remember going to Clear Lake or Lake Berryessa or those places that we all went to when we lived in the Bay Area? Well, here I am at Lake of the Pines, and I'm going to talk about some of the lakefront living features that Lake of the Pines has to offer, and every property is different. But first, I have a disclaimer. There are 6 parks around the lake. Actually, at Lake of the Pines, there are 7 parks. There is a little mini lake, which is part of the dog park. But going back to the lake for people, we have 6 parks, and you do not need to live on the lake to enjoy the lake at Lake of the Pines, because every one of those parks has a wonderful swimming location. A beach, picnic tables, a bathroom. Some of them have play structures, and they all have different little characteristics about each park, but it's great lake swimming. Now today I'm going to look at 2 lakefronts with you and look at some of the features that a lakefront or lake frontage has. So here we are on Shadow Cove, and one of the nice things about Shadow Cove is we are 5 miles an hour. So if you want to learn your kayak or you want to take off on your stand-up paddleboard, but you're not that sure that you're ready for the big lake yet, then start in a cove, and Shadow Cove is a cozy cove, but it's very safe and the water is calm, and you don't have a lot of waves coming at you from those folks on the power boats or those folks who might be water skiing. So this property on Lakeshore North has 53 feet of lake frontage. Not only does the dock here have value, and the boat lift, and the boat cover, these are all expenses if you were living on the lake. Next, we have this thing that's so important, which is called a water wall. The water wall keeps your property from going into the lake. It defines where your property is. So we have an artistic river rock kind of water wall that goes around right here and curves at the lake frontage. Now these owners are very clever. I like these grasses that are at the water wall edge. It gives a softness to the water wall, some texture, some color. And then this is something that's always important to folks who are at a lakefront property and they want to get in the water. Sometimes people have a ladder off of their dock, and that's how people get into the water. But here you have kind of a takeoff pad right here with concrete with 3 steps into the water. Perfect way to bring your kayak in, perfect way to bring on your stand-up paddleboard, or just to go for a swim. Now these 2 owners here have lined up they're experimenting with these white noodles with a rope in between, and they've strung these white noodles together, and they're experimenting with this between their swim areas, and they can be unhooked as you take off for a swim, or you can dunk underneath or go over the top of them. They're very flexible. And the reason why they're doing this is they're trying to keep the Canadian geese from coming up onto not only their dock, but onto their paved area of their lake frontage, because one of the things that we're not real fans of is the geese and what the geese leave for us. So there is no goose poop on this beautiful lawn because of the fact that these little noodles are actually doing the job. Another thing about lake frontage is the hardscape that's around the lake itself. So these owners have a beautiful paved patio area where they have their chairs around a fire pit, which is safely placed so it doesn't ignite any of the trees that are also giving us shade on this property. So lots of different features to values on the lake, and one of these is also the fact that this is a very easy to use, comfortable, level lot. Some of the lots at Lake of the Pines are steeper, and we've got a nice, easy way to bring your cooler down to the water, to have your beach towels in hand, get your floaties, and also enjoy the lake. These folks also have, besides having some nice shade from this gorgeous tree that they keep up regularly to make sure it's healthy, provides a lot of shade, they also have some racks here, and these racks are very cleverly done. You can see their life jackets on their stand-up paddle boards, which is a requirement, and also to be attached to their kayaks when they go out into the water. They have a place to store their stand-up paddle boards, their kayaks, their paddles, and they can just pull them down off of the racks, bring them across the lawn, and go out right up Shadow Cove here to the main lake at Lake of the Pines. Lakefront living, how sweet it is. See you at our next home. Bye-bye. Hi, I'm back, CJ Jenkins from Century 21 Cornerstone. Today's show is, we're right in the middle of it. Today's show is about some of the characteristics of lakefronts. And it depends what their topography is. Now, people are very funny. Sometimes they say, I want a big cross the lake view, but I don't want to go be up above where the lake is to get this big view. Well, this is one of those properties where you're actually getting across the lake view on a level lot. So let's look at this very pretty bay. This bay right here, because we're on level ground, you can tell that this water here is not going to be super deep. It might be 6 feet deep, it might be 8 feet deep, but it's not going to be one of the deeper water areas because the land is level that flows to the lake. Here is Sandy Point Beach. You can see the kayak storage there. This is a nice park. It has a play structure, and it is a perfect location to watch the sunset. So, extra features on a lakefront. As you guys already know, we have a cover for our pontoon boat. There is a boat lift, and this dock right here is less than 2 years old. Remember, everything you do to the outside of your house has to be approved by the Environmental Control Committee, and they approve docks and boat lifts all the time. Now, this dock will last for 30 years. It is a Trex dock that's fixed to the ground underneath the water. And this dock will probably cost you maybe $10,000 to $14,000. We have some waves happening because we have some water skiers out. We've got 2 boats with water skiers out right now. And of course, they're going to create some waves for you because we are on the big section of the lake right here. You can hear the wind. In fact, here's a water wall that is created as fake rocks, probably a type of concrete, and it blocks the water from coming over into the lawn of this lakefront property. And look at this gorgeous piece of land. Oh my goodness. This is such a beautiful lot. Lots of place for you to play games, badminton, bocce ball, frisbee throwing, football tossing. This is such a beautiful lot. So we've got a water wall all the way along this property, and this is 130 feet of lake frontage. Wow, what a big property. Now they do have a little area where you can sit on this Trex ledge right here and dangle your feet into the water. Keep your feet cool on hot summer days. And we have a nice stone patio that's already set up on this property. Perfect spot for your patio table, many of your chairs. And we have what is really important, we notice it more in the summer, we have plenty of shade. This shade is so important. We do have a hot August and a hot September at Lake of the Pines. So we do have some sand on this property too. And a little retaining wall, which is, I always say, is butt size. So you can have a lot of people sitting along this wall with their drinks or their picnic table plates of good grub for a barbecue out here. Here are the stepping stones into the water. 1, 2, 3, and you enter into the water. They're created to look so natural you don't even notice that they're steps into the water. Got some sand here for the kiddos to play in. And this is really very easy landscaping. It's not a fancy landscaped yard. It's very natural and feeling. But look at this gorgeous view that you would wake up on Balsam Court every day. Wow, what a view of the lake. Now you see those buoys that are up there. Everything on the side closest to me, closest to the shore on the buoys is a 5-mile-an-hour zone. So we have some kayakers coming around the bend, and they're in this bay area. They're in the 5-mile-an-hour zone. The water skiers on the other side of the buoys, and they are going to provide some waves for these kayak folks in just a little bit as they come around the bend pulling their skiers. What a peaceful setting. Now remember, I've said that if you don't live at Lake of the Pond, live on the lake, you can still enjoy the activities at Lake of the Pines because of our many ways that people have access to the water. In fact, I'm going to tell you a quick little story. You cannot make any more lakefront at in California anymore like Lake of the Pines. Did you know that? Most people don't know that. In fact, if you have this much volume of water, this much volume of water would be approved in the state of California today, but it would have to be public. And this much volume of water is grandfathered in. It is a private community, and it is not public. And you do not make any more lakefronts again at Lake of the Pines like Lake of the Pines. Very interesting story, and that's why this community is so unique. We have 175 lots on the lake of the 2,000 lots we have in the community. We have homes on the golf course, and we have homes on large acreage of, I think, 8/10 of an acre to 1 or 2 acres. We have a few of those. And then we have the homes that are kind of in the middle of all of those homes. And our homes are very diverse in their construction, in their location and values. But lakefronts really start at least $1,500,000 at Lake of the Pines today. And they go up to $2,500,000 is the most expensive lakefront that is sold at the lake. So I'm CJ Jenkins. If you have any questions about Lake of the Pines living, whether it's a lakefront scene or not, please give me a call at 530-906-4715. And I look forward to seeing you at Lake of the Pines. If you'd like to hop on my golf cart for a tour around the community, just give me a call. CJ Jenkins, Century 21, Cornerstone. Thank you so much for joining us today.